It's a very sad day. This is going to be one of the last times my books are all together in one giant collection, and it's making me very sad. Hello lovely people, it's Nicole, and I leave for college in like a week. At the time that I'm filming this video, it's exactly a week to the day. And I'm gonna be living in a dorm room. And there aren't a lot of room for books in dorm rooms. I am taking as many as I possibly can, and when I get to college, I'll make a bookshelf tour at college, but it probably won't be super extensive because there's not a lot of space in dorm rooms, and I'm sharing my dorm room with 3 other people, so it's gonna be a little tight. And it's very sad because all my beautiful books I have to leave at home. And so this, like I said, is one of the last times that they'll all be together before I break up my collection. It's very sad. So I thought that I would do a bookshelf tour type thing in order to sort of commemorate my beautiful collection, because I'm very proud of it and I love it very much. I'm really sad to have to break it up. So the way my shelves are structured, I have 4 bookshelves, and then I use the shelf on top of my desk as another bookshelf. And those shelves are broken up by height. They used to be broken up by genre, but recently I redecorated and decided I like this aesthetic more. The way that I have it is the 2 white shelves that I generally film in front of are hardcovers, starting with the tall hardcovers and then going to the normal sized hardcovers. I have a shelf that is actually living in the closet that is of weird sized hardcovers, weird sized paperbacks, and mass market paperbacks. Then I have a large metal block shelf on the opposite side of my room that is paperbacks, just going from tallest to shortest, and then nonfiction. And then on the shelf on my desk I have most of my classics and just pretty books, pretty leather-bound decorative book type things. Scattered throughout my shelves I have various knickknacks and thingamabobs. At the end of each shelf I have the to-be-read pile for that particular shelf, just so that I can keep things sort of organized. So this first shelf is mostly tall paperbacks, starting with the super tall paperbacks and then going to the slightly smaller tall paperback. And for little decorative items on this shelf, I have a little Baby Groot Funko Pop and some Birdie Bott's Every Flavored Beans. Red Rising by Pierce Brown. Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. The Cuckoo's Calling by J.K. Rowling. The Silkworm by J.K. Rowling. The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Landline by Rainbow Rowell. The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling. Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. Zombies vs. Unicorns, a short story anthology edited by Holly Black and Justine Larbalestier. The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black. The Coldest Girl in Cold Town by Holly Black. The Diviners by Libba Bray. The Shadowhunters Codex by Cassandra Clare and Joshua Lewis. The Bane Chronicles by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Reese Brennan, and Maureen Johnson. Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare. The next shelf continues the tall hardcovers, and for decoration I have my Shadowhunter tarot cards and the display box where my time turner usually lives. Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. City of Glass by Cassandra Clare. City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare. City of Fallen Angels by Cassandra Clare. City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare. These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. This Shattered World by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. Aragon by Christopher Paolini. Eldest by Christopher Paolini. Brissinger by Christopher Paolini. Inheritance by Christopher Paolini. Between the Lines by Jodi Picoult and Samantha Van Leer. Off the Page by Jodi Picoult and Samantha Van Leer. Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor. Dreams of Gods and Monsters by Laini Taylor. On the next shelf I end the tall paperbacks and start with the shorter paperbacks, and for decoration I have some wands from various places and a Magic 8-Ball sorting hat. Afterworlds by Scott Westerfeld. The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. The Infinite Sea by Rick Yancey. The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Adia. Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. Never Always Sometimes by Adi Alsed. Tiger Lily by Jodi Lynn Anderson. The Knife of Impossible Memory by Lori House Anderson. Me and Earl and the Dying Girl by Jessie Andrews. Don't Look Back by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Mosquitoland by David Arnold. A Dust Jacket Less 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher. Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo. Rune and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. Doll Bones by Holly Black. The Iron Trial by Cassandra Clare and Holly Black. The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. Never Fade by Alexandra Bracken. In the Afterlight by Alexandra Bracken. Beauty Queens by Libba Bray. Cross My Heart, Hope to Spy by Allie Carter. Don't Judge a Girl by Her Cover by Allie Carter. Only the Good Spy Young by Allie Carter. Out of Sight, Out of Time by Allie Carter. On the next shelf, I continue with the normal sized hardcovers, and for decoration I have a bottle of Love Potion, a 3D printed TARDIS, and a couple little Doctor Who figurines. United We Spy by Allie Carter. Heist Society by Allie Carter. Uncommon Criminals by Allie Carter. Perfect Scoundrels by Allie Carter. All Fall Down by Allie Carter. The Selection by Kiara Cass. The Elite by Kiara Cass. The One by Kiara Cass. The Air by Kiara Cass. Struck by Lightning by Chris Colfer. The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. The Ring and the Crown by Melissa De La Cruz. Love Letters to the Dead by Ava Delaria. Better Off Friends by Elizabeth Yulberg. What I Thought Was True by Huntley Fitzpatrick. I Was Here by Gail Foreman. The Ocean at the End of Lane by Neil Gaiman. Ruby Red by Kirsten Gear. Sapphire Blue by Kirsten Gear. Emerald Green by Kirsten Gear. The Princess Bride by William Goldman. Gone by Michael Grant. Hunger by Michael Grant. On the next shelf I have a bunch of various pins. I have a Nerdfighter pin, an OK pin, a Mockingjay pin, and a little Yoda pin, and then I also have a Honeyduke's jar full of Hershey's Kisses. Plague by Michael Grant. Fear by Michael Grant. Lies by Michael Grant. Light by Michael Grant. Looking for Alaska by John Green. Looking for Alaska 10th Anniversary Edition by John Green. Paper Towns by John Green. The Vault in Our Stars by John Green. The Vault in Our Stars Project for Awesome Edition by John Green. Half Bad by Sally Green. Half Wild by Sally Green. None of the Above by I.W. Gregorio. To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han. The Juliet Club by Suzanne Harper. Rebel Belle by Rachel Hawkins. Miss Mayhem by Rachel Hawkins. Proof of Forever by Lexa Hillier. Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge. Crimson Bound by Rosamund Hodge. The Evolution of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. The Retribution of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. The Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson. On the next shelf I have Hank Green's The Drive and a couple sonic screwdrivers. The Madness Underneath by Maureen Johnson. The Key to the Golden Firebird by Maureen Johnson. Girl at Sea by Maureen Johnson. Sweet Scarlet by Maureen Johnson. Control by Lydia Kang. Catalyst by Lydia Kang. Openly Straight by Bill Koenigsberg. Everything Leads to You by Nina LaCour. Pennyroyal Academy by M.A. Larson. Boy Meets Boy by David Levithan. Hold Me Closer by David Levithan. We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. Brazen by Catherine Longshore. The Young Elites by Mary Lou. Legend by Mary Lou. Prodigy by Mary Lou. Champion by Mary Lou. Tease by Amanda Maciel. Ignite Me by Tahara Mafi. Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. Blood Promise by Rochelle Mead. Spirit Bound by Rochelle Mead. The Last Sacrifice by Rochelle Mead. The Indigo Spell by Rochelle Mead. On the next shelf I have a 20-sided die stress ball and a fake mustache from LeakyCon Portland, and 3D glasses from Deathly Hallows Part 2 and The Hobbit. The Fiery Heart by Rochelle Mead. Silver Shadows by Rochelle Mead. The Ruby Circle by Rochelle Mead. Fairest by Marissa Meyer. Cinder by Marissa Meyer. Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. Crest by Marissa Meyer. Hero by Perry Moore. We Are All Made of Molecules by Susan Nielsen. Panic by Lauren Oliver. Delirium by Lauren Oliver. Pandemonium by Lauren Oliver. Requiem by Lauren Oliver. Wonder by R.J. Palacio. Sarina by Jane L. Patrick. Pip Bartlett's Guide to Magical Creatures by Jackson Pierce and Maggie Stiefvater. Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. The Heart of Betrayal by Mary E. Pearson. Isla and the Happily Ever After by Stephanie Perkins. Anatomy of a Misfit by Andrea Portez. Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Rash. Slice of Cherry by Dia Reeves. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. On the next shelf I have a Captain America and Bucky Barnes Funko Pops and a Chocolate Frog box. Hollow City by Ransom Riggs. The Lightning Thief 10th Anniversary Edition. The Lightning Thief. Sea of Monsters. The Titan's Curse. Battle of the Labyrinth. The Last Olympian. The Lost Hero. The Son of Neptune. The Mark of Athena. The House of Hades. The Blood of Olympus. The Red Pyramid. The Throne of Fire. And The Serpent's Shadow, all by Rick Riordan. Divergent by Veronica Roth. Insurgent by Veronica Roth. Allegiant by Veronica Roth. 4 by Veronica Roth. Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Fangirl Indigo Collector's Edition by Rainbow Rowell. On the next shelf I have some Lego Harry Potter figures. Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. The Winner's Curse by Marie Rutowski. The Winner's Crime by Marie Rutowski. Vicious by V.E. Schwab. A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. The Unbound by Victoria Schwab. The Beginning of Everything by Robin Schneider. Extraordinary Means by Robin Schneider. The Invention of Hugo Cabaret by Brian Selznick. More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. Winger by Andrew Smith. Grasshopper Jungle by Andrew Smith. 100 Sideways Miles by Andrew Smith. The Alex Crow by Andrew Smith. The Geography of You and Me by Jennifer E. Smith. Chupacabra by Roland Smith. Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. Linger by Maggie Stiefvater. Stiefvater, Forever by Maggie Stiefvater, Sinner by Maggie Stiefvater, The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater, Blue Lily, Lily Blue by Maggie Stiefvater, Every Last Word by Tamara Ireland Stone, Rebel by Amy Tintera, Fan Art by Sarah Tregay. On the next shelf, it's mostly TBR books, which I'm not going to get into in this video. And then also I have my little mug of bookmarks. The Merciless by Danielle Vega, Survive the Night by Danielle Vega, We All Looked Up by Tommy Wallach, Anything Could Happen by Will Walton, Belzar by Meg Wolitzer, Falling Into Place by Amy Zhang. The last two shelves on this set of bookcases are all 100% Harry Potter and Harry Potter related things, plus some stuffed animals in the corner. I'm not going to go through every single Harry Potter book because y'all know what Harry Potter books look like, but I have a full set of American hardcovers, a full set of American paperback, the first book in Japanese and in Spanish, the new anniversary paperback box set, books 1 through 3 in UK hardcover, and books 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 in UK paperback. Harry Potter Page to Screen. The Creature Vault by Jodie Revenson. A Muggle's Guide to the Wizarding World is exploring the Harry Potter universe by Fiona Boyle. The Unofficial Harry Potter Cookbook by Dinah Buchholz. The Ultimate Guide to the Mysteries of Harry Potter by Galadriel Waters. Dear Mr. Potter, Stories of Love, Loss, and Magic, compiled by Lily Zellon. Muggles and Magic, The Unofficial Guide to J.K. Rowling and the Harry Potter Phenomenon by George Baum. Harry Potter and the Art of Spying by Lynn Bowie and Peter Ernest. The Whimsic Alley Book of Spells. Harry, A History by Melissa and Ellie. J.K. Rowling, The Wizard Behind Harry Potter by Mark Shapiro. So now we move on to the shelf in my closet. Sorry for the bad lighting. And this first shelf has weirdly shaped hardcovers. Hoology by Kevin Scott and Mark Wright. A Wrinkle in Time by Madeline Lingle. Inkspell by Cornelia Funk. Ink Death by Cornelia Funk. The Giver by Lois Lowry. Gathering Blue by Lois Lowry. Messenger by Lois Lowry. Sun by Lois Lowry. My True Love Gave to Me, edited by Stephanie Perkins. Fangirl UK Special Edition by Rainbow Rowell. The TARDIS Handbook by Steve Tribe. The Wishing Spell by Chris Colfer. The Enchantress Returns by Chris Colfer. A Grim Warning by Chris Colfer. Beyond the Kingdoms by Chris Colfer. The Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. Mary Poppins by P.L. Travers. The Maze of Bones by Rick Riordan. The Five People You Meet in Heaven by Mitch Albom. YOLO Juliet by Brett Wright. Seriously Hamlet by Courtney Carbone. The Demigod Files by Rick Riordan. The Demigod Diaries by Rick Riordan. Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Ultimate Guide by Rick Riordan. Extras by Scott Westerfeld. Notebook for Fantastical Observations from the Spiderwick Chronicles by Tony D. Terlizzi and Holly Black. The Field Guide by Holly Black and Tony D. Terlizzi. The Singing Stone by Holly Black and Tony D. Terlizzi. Lucinda's Secret by Holly Black and Tony D. Terlizzi. The Ironwood Tree by Holly Black and Tony D. Terlizzi. The Wrath of Mulgarth by Holly Black and Tony D. Terlizzi. The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. The Fellowship of the Ring by J.R.R. Tolkien. The Two Towers by J.R.R. Tolkien. The Return of the King by J.R.R. Tolkien. The next shelf consists of the weirdly shaped paperbacks and then transferring into mass market paperback. Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. Furies of Calderon by Jim Butcher. Go Ask Alice by Anonymous. Perks of Being a Wallflower by Steve Chbosky. Uglies by Scott Westerfeld. Pretties by Scott Westerfeld. Specials by Scott Westerfeld. Bogus to Bubbly by Scott Westerfeld. A Spell for Chameleon. Source of Magic. Centaur Isle. Ogre. Nightmare. Cruel Lie, A Caustic Yarn. Dragon on a Pedestal. Gollum and the Gears. Veil of the Vole. Heaven Sent. Man from Mundania. And Isle of View, all by Piers Anthony. Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. Speaker for the Dead by Orson Scott Card. Xenocide by Orson Scott Card. Ender's Shadow by Orson Scott Card. Rendezvous with Rama by Arthur C. Clarke. Dune by Frank Herbert. Evil Genius by Catherine Jenks. Genius Squad by Catherine Jenks. Wicked by Gregory Maguire. The Game of Thrones by George R. R. Martin. A Clash of Kings by George R. R. Martin. Storm of Swords by George R. R. Martin. And on the last shelf on this particular bookshelf, I have the last of my mass market paperbacks and then my graphic novels. A Feast for Crows by George R. R. Martin. The Golden Compass by Philip Pullman. The Subtle Knife by Philip Pullman. The Amber Spyglass by Philip Pullman. Night's Dream by William Shakespeare. Macbeth by William Shakespeare. The Taming of the Shrew by William Shakespeare. Much Ado About Nothing by William Shakespeare. The Tempest by William Shakespeare. Anya's Ghost by Vera Brosgol. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, the graphic novel by Ransom Riggs, illustrated by Cassandra Jean. Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. The Lightning Thief, the graphic novel by Rick Riordan, art by Attila Futaki. Watchmen by Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons. Miss Marvel No Normal by G. Willow Wilson, art by Adrian Alfona. Lumberjanes Beware the Kitten Holy by Noelle Stevenson and Grace Ellis, illustrated by Brooke Allen. Rat Queens Volume 1, Sass and Sorcery by Curtis J. Weeb and Rock Upchurch. The Wicked and the Divine, The Fast Act by Kieran Gillen, art by Jamie McKelvey. The Wicked and the Divine, Fandemonium by Kieran McGillen, art by Jamie McKelvey. Saga Volume 1 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. Saga Volume 2 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. Saga Volume 3 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. Saga Volume 4 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. Deadly Class 1987 Reagan Youth Volume 1 by Rick Remender, and Wes Craig. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 8, Volume 1, The Long Way Home by Joss Whedon and George Janti. On this black metal bookshelf, I keep my paperbacks. So starting from the top shelf, Doctor Who and Philosophy, Bigger on the Inside, edited by Cortland Lewis and Paula Smithka. Inanna, Queen of Heaven and Earth, Her Stories and Hymns from Sumer by Diane Wolfstein and Samuel Noah Kramer. The Magicians by Lev Grossman. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. On the Road, The Original Scroll by Jack Kerouac. Winter Girls by Laurie Halse Anderson. Speak by Laurie Halse Anderson. Lux Beginnings by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Lux Consequences by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Lux Opposition by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Geektastics, Stories from the Nerd Herd, edited by Holly Black and Cecil Castellucci. The Zombie Survival Guide by Max Brooke. I Tell You I Love You But Then I Have to Kill You by Allie Carter. The Warrior Heir by Cinda Williams Chima. The Wizard Heir by Cinda Williams Chima. The Dragon Heir by Cinda Williams Chima. Dash and Lily's Book of Dares by David Levithan and Rachel Cohn. My Life Next Door by Huntley Fitzpatrick. If I Stay by Gail Forman. Where She Went by Gail Forman. Just One Day by Gail Forman. Just One Year by Gail Forman. An Abundance of Catherines by John Green. Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle. Will Grayson by John Green and David Levithan. Why We Broke Up by Daniel Handler with art by Mara Coleman. Hex Hall by Rachel Hawkins. Demon Glass by Rachel Hawkins. Spellbound by Rachel Hawkins. The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. The Genius Wars by Katherine Jinks. On this next shelf, I am continuing my paperbacks. The Bermuda's Triangle by Maureen Johnson. Devilish by Maureen Johnson. The Deaf by Cody Keplinger. Ask the Passengers by A.S. King. Boy Meets Boy by David Levithan. Ash by Melinda Lowe. Hey kitty, do you want to say hi to the camera? Hi! This is Mickey. I'm cat sitting for my sister. The Disreputable History of Frankie Landau Banks by E. Lockhart. Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson. Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead. Frostbite by Rochelle Mead. Shadow Kiss by Rochelle Mead. Bloodlines by Rochelle Mead. Golden Lily by Rochelle Mead. The Straight Road to Kylie by Nico Medina. The Sky is Everywhere by Jandy Nelson. Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. Lola and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins. My Fair Godmother by Jeanette Rallison. My Unfair Godmother by Jeanette Rallison. All Quiet on the Western Front by Eric Maria Remarque. Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin O'Leary Sains. The Archived by Victoria Schwab. Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore by Robin Sloan. The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight by Jennifer E. Smith. This Is What Happy Looks Like by Jennifer E. Smith. Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Lainey Taylor. It's Kind of a Funny Story by Ned Vizzini. Hacking Harvard by Robin Wasserman. The Thing Around Your Neck by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. 21 Proms, edited by David Levithan and Daniel Ehrenhaft. Naomi and Eli's No Kiss List by David Levithan and Rachel Cohn. The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Memoirs of a Geisha by William Golden. 13 Little Blue Envelopes by Maureen Johnson. The Last Little Blue Envelope by Maureen Johnson. Shatter Me by Tahara Mafi. Unravel Me by Tahara Mafi. Unite Me by Tahara Mafi. Voyage in the Dark by Jean Reese. Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. Next bookshelf is more paperbacks. There's a hole there because I'm loaning a book to a friend. The Secret Diary of Lizzie Bennett by Bernie Sue and Kate Rorick. Reboot by Amy Tintera. The Distance Between Us by Casey West. I also have On the Fence by Casey West, but I'm currently loaning that to a friend. Villain Boyfriend by Casey West. Stormbreaker, Point Blank, Skeleton Key, Eagle Strike, Scorpia, Archangel, Crocodile Tears, Scorpia Rising, and Snakehead, all by Anthony Horowitz. The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. The Raven Boys by Maggie Steve Otter. 10 Little Aliens by Stephen Cole. Dreams of Empire by Justin Richard. Last of Gadarene by Mark Gatiss. Festival of Death by Jonathan Morris. Fear of the Dark by Trevor Baxendale. Players by Terrence Dick. Remembrance of the Daleks by Ben Aronovich. Earthworld by Jacqueline Rayner. Only Human by Gareth Roberts. Beautiful Chaos by Gary Russell. The Silent Stars Go By by Dan Abnett. Half Magic by Edward Eager. The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. The Thief Lord by Cornelia Funk. Inkheart by Cornelia Funk. The Princess Academy by Shannon Hale. The Two Princes of Bamar by Gail Carson Levine. On the next shelf, I have the last of my paperbacks, nonfiction, and then my TBR that is paperback. The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. Sea of Monsters by Rick Riordan. The Titan's Curse by Rick Riordan. Battle of the Labyrinth by Rick Riordan. The Last Olympian by Rick Riordan. Cryptid Hunters by Roland Smith. Tentacle by Roland Smith. Charlotte's Web by E.B. White. Oedipus the King and Antigone by Sophocles. The Bookshop Book by Jen Campbell. Weird Things Customers Say in Bookshops by Jen Campbell. More Weird Things Customers Say in Bookshops by Jen Campbell. A Little Bit Wicked by Kristen Chenoweth. This Star Won't Go Out by Esther Earl. The Seven Ages by Louise Gluck. Guns Golden Rules by Tim Gunn. Shady Characters by Keith Houston. Fangirl's Guide to the Galaxy by Sam Mack. How to Be a Woman by Caitlin Moran. Without You by Anthony Rapp. Very Good Lives by J.K. Rowling. We Should Hang Out Sometime by Josh Lundquist. The Shakespeare Miscellany by David and Ben Crystal. Night by Ellie Wiesel. College 101, A Girl's Guide to Freshman Year by Julie Zellinger. Then on this bottom shelf I have sort of a smattering of different things. I have some scripts, some random like kitschy books, and then oversized books, And then I have a stack of books that I'm selling to half price book. Mulan Jr. script. The Man Who Came to Dinner, comedy in 3 acts by Mouse Hart and George S. Kaufman. The Unfortunates by John Beavers, Casey Hertz, Ian Merrigan, and Ramiz Monsef. If you get a chance to ever see this show, see it. It's amazing. And then a Book of Mormon script. Percy Jackson's Greek Gods by Rick Riordan, illustrated by John Rocco. Lookalikes by Joan Steiner. Dialler's Book of Greek Myths. Dr. Horrible's Sing-Along Blog, The Book by Joss Whedon, Marisa Tancharoen, Jed Whedon, and Zach Whedon. Spring Awakening in the Flesh. Inside HBO's Game of Thrones by Brian Cogman. The Hobbit and Unexpected Journey Chronicles, art and design by Daniel Falconer. Doctor Who The Vault by Marcus Hearn. Arthur Spiderwick's Guide to the Fantastical World Around You by Holly Black and Tony DiTerlizzi. I Want My Hat Back by John Klassen. A screenplay for Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. One for Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. One for The Fellowship of the Ring. And one for The Princess Bride. And now on a shelf on top of my desk I have all my nice leather-bound books with a couple flower crowns on top of them decorating. The Talisman by Sir Walter Scott. The Complete Pelican Shakespeare. The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. A copy of Captain Sir Richard Francis Burton by Edward Rice with a hole cut in the middle. S by J.J. Abrams and Doug Dorst. Oliver Twist, A Tale of Two Cities, David Copperfield, A Christmas Carol, and Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. The Complete Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Grimm's Complete Fairy Tales. The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. American Gods and Anansi Boys by Neil Gaiman. Aragon the Collector's Edition by Christopher Paolini. Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. So those are all my beautiful books. I now have to go through and decide which ones I'm taking with me, which should be fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this, although I'm not gonna lie, I mainly just made this video so that when I'm sad off at college, I can look back and look at all my lovelies that I have waiting back at home for me. I'll probably do an updated bookshelf tour once I'm at college and show what books I brought with me. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any tips for deciding what books to bring with me or how to possibly cram as many books as humanly possible on 2 shelves, let me know in the comments. I love you, and I'll see you later.